Jaren Jackson must prove himself this season. The 6'11 Grizzlies forward has shown plenty of promise in his young career, but it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. After an incredible first few seasons in the league, Jaren's had a mixed last 2 seasons. Whether it's due to injury problems or just general inconsistency, this season will tell us a lot about Jaren and his future in the NBA. Here's why Jaren Jackson Jr. must prove himself this NBA season. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA content coming out this whole NBA season. Jaren has had an up and down career so far. Jaren had an incredible first 2 seasons with the Grizzlies where he proved himself to be one of the most exciting young bigs in the NBA. In his first 2 seasons, Jaren showed his versatility on offense and on defense, handling the ball, hitting threes on one end, then switching onto guards and blocking shots on the other. Jaren seemed to be the perfect modern-day big man. All of these things came together for Jackson early in his career, especially in year 2 where he averaged 17 points, shooting almost 40% from 3 on 6.5 attempts a game. That's video game-like numbers. Unfortunately, this all came to an abrupt stop as Jackson tore his meniscus in a bubble matchup versus the Portland Trail Blazers. This left Jackson out for almost the entire 2020-21 season, where he would return late in the season. Jackson managed to play in the play-in games and the playoffs for the Grizzlies later in that season, but he wasn't very effective at all. I mean, it's expected though, since he missed damn near the entire season. I don't know what else anybody thought was going to happen. With everything the Grizz saw so far from Jackson in his first 3 years, they decided to give him his rookie extension, a 4-year, $105 million deal, and so far the investment has led to mixed results. Last season saw Jaren become the most complete defensively he's been in his career, being named to the All-NBA defensive first team and leading the league in blocks with 2.3 a game. Jaren was a massive reason why the Grizz were so good last season, and was a huge reason why when Ja went out, the Grizzlies still thrived. Although Jaren was pretty incredible on defense last season, offensively left a lot to be desired. I mean, a lot to be desired. He still put up 16 points on around 42% from the field and 32% from 3, but that efficiency for a power forward is, by all accounts, just garbage. With all this said, with Jackson's up and down season with the Grizzlies, the Grizz were poised for a big playoff run, ending the season as a number 2 seed. In the first round versus the Wolves, Jackson was pretty disappointing, often being limited to around 25 minutes a game due to the ridiculously idiotic fouls he would commit. I'm not sure if he emptied his brain cells out before the game started because he was really questionable mentally that series. In the second round versus the Warriors though, he was a lot better, but it was still more of the same. In the Game 1 loss versus the Warriors, Jaren exploded for 33 points and 6 triples. Unfortunately, for the rest of the series, it was more of the same. Inconsistency in his shot selection and his play, and of course his IQ, still fouling quite a bit, and it was just more of the same, as eventually the Grizzlies lost to the Warriors in 6. After the playoff run and the Grizzlies season, everyone knew the Grizzlies were to be taken seriously for the future. But on June 30th, Jaren yet again got another major injury, this time with a stress fracture in his foot that would have him have surgery on that same foot, and he'd be out 4 to 6 months. Jaren just made his debut against the Pels a few days ago. He looks healthy, but this may be his last season to impress in a Grizzlies uniform. But why is that? Jaren is no doubt an extremely talented player, as I've mentioned before, but I think a lot of people thought that he was going to make the all-star step up to support Ja, and it just really hasn't happened yet. Especially considering the massive contract that the Grizzlies gave him, you would have expected a little bit more. The Grizzlies are still really young and have a ton of young talent, of course, and they don't need to rush anything, but I believe they really are capable of winning right now, and Jackson is absolutely the missing piece. Over the last 2 years, Jaren has been really inconsistent offensively, and he's also picked up 2 major injuries early in his career, one on his foot and one in his knee. As a big man, that doesn't sound like a good sign. He hasn't shown much improvement offensively since his second year. In fact, I believe that he's regressed quite a bit. You know, he's just really not being as aggressive on that side of the ball, and he's shooting way too many threes. The fact that he keeps getting injured and missing so many games, and a lot of new lineup changes with the Grizzlies definitely haven't helped his case, but you still would have expected more from him with his offensive improvement by now. And defensively, although he had some really good feats last year, he's still really clumsy and he fouls way too much. Sometimes he just loses his head completely and makes really incompetent plays, if I'm honest. That's pretty much the only way to put it. Lastly, his rebounding is pretty subpar at times. For how big and athletic he is, you'd think he'd grab more than 10 rebounds a game, but that hasn't been the case. Usually when he does get a bit more physical and stuff, the Grizzlies usually do a lot better. Although he's only 23 years old and in the first year of his extension with plenty of room to grow, I think if he doesn't perform this year, the Grizzlies will be looking to move him in the offseason while his value is still quite high. There were rumors about KD in the summer coming to the Grizzlies, but I think that was too soon to move Jaren, and clearly the Grizzlies thought so as well. As a Grizzlies fan, it's really tough to watch Jaren sometimes. Sometimes he looks like a top 5 power forward in the league, and you're super excited about him in the Grizzlies' future. And then the next day, he looks like a Shanghai Shark bench warmer. That's how incompetent he looks sometimes. It's really tough to watch. That's why this year he has to prove himself, because everybody knows he's supremely talented, but he's been so inconsistent in his career so far, especially in these last 2 years. If Jaren can put it together this year, and most importantly stay healthy, I think Memphis could make a real finals run. I'm not even joking. But if he can't, then I fear this year might be the last one he puts on a Memphis Grizzlies uniform, and it might be time for a change of scenery for him, which could be a benefit. Hopefully he can make me as a Grizzlies fan proud and show why he's one of the most talented young bigs in the league, and even possibly lead Memphis to a championship. That would be awesome. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You can check out my latest video right here, and as always, stay rested. See you in the next one.